social media is, you know, I love it because it's an incredible tool. It helps me promote myself a lot.
Totally.
But on the flip side, a lot of people, which tends to be younger, their minds are rewired or warped, and they're just trying to be someone that they're not. Just be yourself.
I think the thing is which it happened to me years ago with music, is like the minute you see someone being successful, right, and you want to be successful, like you think, oh, what did they do to get there? I have to do exactly the same. And it's not, but it takes time to realize that in your life. And I think what's happening now is you have a lot of younger people that, when we grew up, the only people we kind of really could see, like when we're teenagers, were like pop stars, rock stars, rap stars, or models, right? And like sports stars. Like we'd had magazines that we'd like read and we'd look at and shit like that. And we didn't have social media. So, and we didn't have the social media that's now. Like even when we got Facebook, when that first came, like we were in our teens, like late teens.
Yeah.
So like we didn't have the viral social media. But now viral social media can mean that you can earn a fucking good living from it. And a lot of the people we're seeing that is like, okay, this person did this, they're now multimillionaires. I want to be a multimillionaire. I then have to go and do what that person's doing, rather than thinking, what is the niche thing that I can do as a person that nobody else can do? No, like nobody else is who I am. So what can I do that will then kind of fit into a niche? Some people don't have that. Some people can have that, and some people don't have that. And you just have to find your little thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can see right through it, right? You can see some people can be extremely successful by emulating. However, it's not authentic to them, so it doesn't last for them. It's not forever, and that's where it gets a bit weird. But you're right. Like it is. I don't know you but even just from this conversation, I know how much you love it. If you know what I mean. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, being yourself, mate, it's just so important and so powerful. But I think just to touch on what you said there about seeing someone being successful and thinking, right, I have to do that.
Yeah.
I had a fascinating conversation recently with an A&R from Warner, and he was telling me when LF System blew up and Afraid to Feel got #1, he told us that he had 60 demo submissions of people slowing the tune down before the drop, then speeding it up.
Yeah.
And he said to us, he was like, be yourself, be organic, do something else that other people haven't done. Why the fuck are you copying off people? And I think that's a problem with music, is a lot of people do copy off other people. And I don't know why people do that.
I know why. People want success. People want success. It's not I'm guessing that's what the issue is, what the reason is. But it's like, it happened to me. Like my first record was a record, like my first record that did anything was a track called Big Booty. And I signed it to Worthy's record year, like 2004 it came out, I think. No, 2014. Yeah, 2014 or 2013, I can't remember. And that was like the first record that everyone was playing. MK was playing it, Jamie Jones was playing it, Eats Everything, Seth Troxler, the Martinez brothers. Everyone was playing it in the cool camp, because they were just blowing up at that time as well. And I was like, fuck, Jamie Jones is like asking me for an EP. Like, I need to now make Hot Creation records. And it's like, that was the thing that like I gave up music for 6 months after like 2 months into that, because I was constantly just making music that I think Jamie would have liked, rather than sitting back and going, he's playing the record that I made, me being me, and only I can make that record, and everyone's playing that, but I was just trying to fit in, and when you try to fit in, it just doesn't work. It really doesn't work. But that was the best lesson I learned, is that like we evolve as artists, and you're not going to release the same record over and over again. Like we all evolve, and our sounds change. Look at how much Patrick's sounds changed over the years. If we want to look at sounds changing, but it just has to be done authentically.
Absolutely. I think I'm so glad you've mentioned that, because when me and Ben in our early days, when we were writing music and that, we would like, we would say, oh, well, let's make a record for this label and that. And then as like we evolved as artists, Ben always said to me, he was just like, when you aim for a label, you put yourself in a box
100%.
straight away.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
There are no rules when it comes to writing music. And what I found is if you try and write a record for a label, you always inhibit yourself. So, like you see, you just living proof, mate. And I've been there myself. So that's what I'm saying. Just be yourself, and it'll go to the right place.
Yeah, and I think also the way music's released nowadays, like you do need associations. Everyone needs associations to a certain level, but like you look at LF System, like they pretty much released on majors since day one. They've released on some, but like they were known for releasing on majors. Like you don't necessarily need, if you make good music, you don't need the associations nowadays, because the internet allows you to sell tickets. The internet allows you that, whereas before it was like you need the stamp of approval of Hot Creations, you need the stamp of approval of Dirty Bird, you need Defected, blah blah blah, which is all good, and like they're all great avenues to release music now still, but you don't need it. You can be bigger than any of those labels by having a big social media following. Simple.
Yeah, for sure. And again, it touches back to be yourself.
Yeah.
I think another piece of great advice I would give is concentrate on yourself. To those who are listening out there, anyone who writes it, and this is applicable in all fields, all walks of life. Don't concern yourself with what other people are doing. Focus on what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's like the best analogy I can give of this is, let's just say you go in the gym, right? And you see someone who's in really good shape, and you're looking at them instead of looking at what you're doing. Dude, pick the fucking weights up. You're here to work out, not look at other people. And it's the same thing with your work, whatever you do, but especially music. Don't concern yourself with what other artists are doing. You focus on yourself. When did
you come to that realization? Because that's not something you get born with. It takes time.
It does take time, mate. Fucking... I would say probably in 2020. 2020 is because I would be, oh, look at what he's doing, look at what he's doing. But yeah, probably in 2020. Because I've been writing music. Like, Ben taught us how to write music in 2019, December 2019. So about 3 years ago, I had like 6 months off where I didn't write anything.
Yeah.
But so I've been writing music for like 2.5 years straight. But 2020 is when I like stop concerning myself, because it's anxiety. Like, I want to be where they are.
Yeah.
And again, touching on the success thing that you were talking about. And then I said to myself, I was just like, you're focusing your time and energy on what other people are doing. And this is another thing I learned. Great quotation. Where energy goes, energy grows.
Yeah.
So don't spend your day looking at what fucking Joe Bloggs is doing. Focusing on what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, man, 100%. I remember, like, for me, it was 2018. Like, I had a career. I was touring full time. And it was at the end of the year, and I was so fucking unhappy in my career.
Why?
I multiple reasons. I was writing music that I didn't like because I was fitting into a record label that I was signed to. I had a management team that didn't really understand where I wanted to go with my career. I thought buying materialistic things, like I bought a house, I bought a car at the time. Like, I thought all those things would make me happy. And realistically, it took me a year to like realize like what actually did make me happy, and like what I needed to do to make decisions in my career to then move forward. And realistically, it was just like, do what the fuck I want and stop looking at everybody else. Like, and also don't be envious of other people's success, because there's space for everybody. And just because somebody else is earning more money than me, just because somebody else's record's doing better than mine, doesn't mean that I am not as good. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to be as good. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person or I'm a bad person or I'm whatever. It's just like, just enjoy the moment and just write music that you fucking love, and everything will fall in place. And literally it does. Everything fell in place from then. Fired my managers, started writing music I wanted, and here we are today. It's game changing.
Wise words, well said.
Game